5 items listed in Krishna's rap sheet in Gokula by Krishna's mercy. Vatsan munchan kvachidasmaye krosha sanjatahas. Steyam swadvatyat dadhipe kalpitay steya yoge markan bhokshan vibhajati sa chenati bhandam bhinnati dravyalabhe sagrah kupito yatyupakroshya tokan. Quote, Our dear friend Yashoda, your son sometimes comes to our houses before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it with them, and when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes, if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will be angry at the householders, and for his revenge he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Then, when the children begin crying, Krishna will go away. Shrimad Bhagavatam 10:8-29. It is said that during the childhood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was a clever way that the golden avatara induced others to repeat the name of Hari. This is an auspicious name. This is a transcendental sound. Simply saying the name is a way to move closer towards perfection in the life experience, for ending the cycle of birth and death. Babies are known to communicate in a binary manner. If they are crying, something is wrong. Something requires urgent attention. That problem is solved when the crying stops. This is more or less the general rule, but careful, loving, and attentive parents can discern more clearly. They can recognize the different kinds of crying and are expert at diagnosing the issue based on that sound. Known as Nimai during childhood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would cry. He would then only stop crying once people around him began repeating the name of Hari. In this way, he was bringing auspiciousness to others, absent a lecture from a pulpit, quoting from a sacred text, or offering instruction referencing Sanskrit words. The same Hari maintained the transcendental connection of others through naughty behavior exhibited in the small community of Gokula Vrindavan. God is the supreme pure. He is Purna, or complete. He is transcendental in nature. We are like him in that the original fire distributes its influence across the entirety of space. As fire is purifying, we are pure at our essence due to our connection to the original fire. Ek desh sthit syagner jyotsna vistarani yatha parasya brahmana shaktis tathedam akhilam jagat. Quote, Everything that is manifested within this cosmic world is but the energy of the Supreme Lord. As fire emanating from one place diffuses its illumination and heat all around, so the Lord, although situated in one place in the spiritual world, manifests his different energies everywhere. Indeed, the whole cosmic creation is composed of different manifestations of his energy. Vishnu Puran 1:22-52. In the manner that young Krishna would sometimes climb to the top of Govardhan Hill and start playing on his flute to capture the attention of the calves who had accidentally gone astray, so a younger Krishna would behave in ways to maintain the attention of the householders. They could not let their guards down for a moment. When apprehended, the authority figures would lodge their complaints with the person in charge of the young child. They would approach Mother Yashoda and list the many things that Krishna had done wrong. It was like reviewing a rap sheet for a criminal, except there was an astonishing transformation at the end. The mothers would essentially ask Yashoda to drop the charges. 1. Releasing the calves. Cow protection was at the foundation of the economy in that area. There is a proper sequence to follow. If a cow is well protected, it can produce more than enough milk to feed a large community. Long before PhD-level economists posited their theories on how to increase economic growth in a country, wise saints of the Vedic tradition understood the proper way to levy taxes by comparing the oversight from government to protecting a cow. If a cow felt safe and free to roam, then it would produce much more milk than if it were tied down and forced to work, on command. Baby Krishna would release the calves prior to the cows being milked by the community. This was the inverse of the proper order. It caused chaos. It is like someone turning off the conveyor belt in the large factory. The distribution and the supply chain will be negatively impacted. 2. Stealing butter. The cow is so kind and generous that there is an abundance of products offered. Along with the milk come curd and butter. The mothers kept these in reserve. Like an insurance company paying close attention to their annual loss ratios, in making sure not to pay out more in claims than the premium payments coming in, there was a stockpile in each home. Krishna was devious enough to hatch schemes for breaking and entering. Even if the butter was kept up high, in a dark room, somehow Krishna and his friends would find a way to succeed. They were not afraid of the challenge. They knew what they were after, and they were going to enjoy. 3. Feeding monkeys and breaking pots. Okay, if you want to steal food from my home, it is not that big a deal. At least it is going towards people who will enjoy it. Except Krishna was feeding the local monkeys. He was feeding them so much that they would become full. With no other option left, Krishna would break the pots. 4. Making children cry. A mother to young children knows all too well the delicate balance required in maintaining order to get household work done. The children should sleep at the right times. They should eat on a proper schedule. They should be engaged with others, such that they will not feel bored. If everything goes according to plan, there will be minimal agitation. It is like charting a graph of an inverse relationship. The less agitation, the more peace. Imagine, then, that a young child enters your home with the intent to steal. If there is nothing to take, if they are unsuccessful in getting what they want, they intentionally cause havoc. They pinch the babies to make them cry. The thief will leave their mark one way or another. 5. Running away. This is the real crime to the entire story. After causing mischief, the young thief runs away. He goes back home. The impression he leaves is lasting. It is impossible to forget him. The rap sheet is something to treasure, like a memory to always lift up the spirits. In this way, Krishna brought others closer to him, mirroring the recommendation later offered to the bow warrior named Arjuna. Manmana bhav madbhakto, madhyajima namaskuru, mam evaishyasi yuktvaevam, atmanam matparayana. Quote, engage your mind always in thinking of me. Offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 9:34. In closing, all right, come in and steal, at least something of appeal. For our butter stored in hand, a plentiful reserve to command, but mischief on way out making, advantage of our generosity taking. Never mind, but welcome in future then, show your charming effulgence again.